Yeah, myself Adi Narayanan, and today we are going to see Java training part 2, session 2. So, in session 1, we saw what is variable, what is method, and what is class. We got some information about creating a class and creating a method and declaring a variable. So, this is a class which we created during our part 2, session 1. Okay, so if you see here, there are a number of functionality that we have implemented. One is displaying welcome message and adding two number, dividing the number and finding the percentage. Here, finding the percentage, and here multiplying the two numbers. This is the two number, right? So if I run this one, how will you run? Mouse right click, right click, run as Java application, and you are getting the output something like this, right? Welcome to Java, this one, welcome to Java, and so 50, this one, system.out.println, this line gives the output 50 because you are making number 1 and number 2, you are assigning. So whatever the expression, right hand side of this equal to sign. So there is an equal sign, there is left hand side something, and there is right hand side something. So the right hand side will get first evaluated and this will be assigned to this variable. So this variable type is integer. Variable is only to hold the values. Variables is only to hold the values. Here, same way here, you are dividing the total by 2 because you have two numbers. So you are dividing by 2 and you are getting the percentage, and the percentage is going to be 50. And here you are multiplying the two numbers and the value is 600. Anyway, here when you run this program, when you run this program, if you run a program, if you are running a program, you are giving this program as an input to enter program to JVM, Java Virtual Machine, JVM, JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, so when you run this program, Java will see is there any method called main, and the argument is string array, string array. This is called argument. I will explain what is argument. As of now, leave it. This is an array. You may not know what is an array. Leave it as of now. So this should be something like this. If it is not going to be something like this, if it is going to be something string, then if if I right click mouse run as, say there is no run Java application. So only when you are, if you want to run a program, if you want to run a Java program or a Java class, one and the same. If you want to run a Java program or if you want to run a Java class, one and the same, then you should have a method called main and argument as string argument, string array argument, string array argument, and your method should be public static void and main. This is mandatory. This all four should be the same. The method signature should be same, no changes. If there is any changes here, then your program will not be able to run. So if you want to run a program, then you should have a method called main with the string argument. Very important. String array with string array as argument. String. This is data type. This is data type string array. This is the data type integer. This is the data type integer. This is the data type string array, and this is again variable. Variable. You are declaring a variable. This can be anything. This can be anything. To be meaningful, we make it here or GS. Okay. So okay. Now you know how to create a class, and if you are going to make a method. This is the main method. No. So if I am going to make GGG control S, if I make run S, see you are not getting Java application. You will not able to run. Only main method should be there. The same signature should be there if you want to run a Java program. So that's very mandatory. Okay. Anyway, you got some idea. Just create this class and type all these things and run. You will get one by one. You will get the answer. So what we can do now? So we will create another one class. So now I don't want all the functionality to be done in the same. Say for example, if I'm going to bank, either I do transfer money or I withdraw or I see transaction details, or as I'm not going to see all the things at the same time. At the same time, I'm not going to do the functionality called debit, credit to my account, and see the transaction details. I'm not going to see, right. When I click transfer money, then it shows the form where I enter. I do transfer. When I want to debit money, I can do the debit. I can do the debit, meaning I can withdraw the money. Then only that logic should be there inside the method. So this method contains four functionality: display, add, divide, and multiply. All the things. This method contains four functionalities. Normally, so it's up to us. No, in a method you can write the entire application functionality: add, multiply, divide, finding percentage, who is having the highest mark, what is the highest mark, what is the lowest mark, and is it pass or fail, is it grade. All the things you can implement in a thing. All the concepts. These are all concepts. All the concept you can implement in a single method. This is starting method starting and this method ending. You can implement in a single method, but normally we won't do something like that, right? Either we want to know what is the percentage, what is the total, or total and percentage, or what is the grade, A grade, B grade, or C grade. So we need, sometimes we need different functionality, right? So normally we will not need all the functionality to display it in a single screen. So if we need a different, say sometime I want to give two number and multiply and I want to see the answer. Sometime I want to give two number and see divide and see the answer. Someone I want to give two number, add and see the answer. Then how you are going to do? Now if I run, I am getting all the answers. My program, my method is doing four functionality. Sometime I want to say here it is doing all the four points: displaying the value, adding the number, dividing the number, multiplying the number, and showing the result to me. This is not right. Normally we won't do. When you do register in Facebook as a new customer, then what you do, say what are the things might be there. First we need to do validation whether the entered values are correct or not. Then we generate an account number, then we save the record to the database, then we send email, then we send SMS, and we do some auditing. These are all the functionality. Either you can write all this functionality in a single method, or you can write in a different method, so that you can write in a single different method. From a method you can call other method. So meaning, if I want to transfer money, then there are five functionalities, five or six functionalities. So what might be the functionality like? So here let's just type here. Let me type here slash star. Okay. So what are the things? If I want to transfer account or um, register in a Facebook when I as a new customer, then you enter all the value in the screen. Then once you enter all the value, then click the submit button. All the value from the browser will go to a Java program. That Java program will retrieve the values and store it in database. During that time, what are the things might be? Normally, what will happen? No validation. VALIDATION validation. Validate the values. VALUES values that is coming from the screen. Whether email value sent to him is valid or not. Whether mobile number, he entered a 10 number, but that should be a right number. You need to send an SMS and see whether, and ask him to enter the OTP code. So there are a lot of things, right? He can enter some other's number, then that is not going to work, right? You need to authorize. So there are a lot of things which you need when you register a Facebook account. So validating values coming from string, for example, mobile, mobile number, email, email, send an email asking to authenticate something, right? So validate mobile number, uh, generate generate uh, account ID, ACCOUNT account ID, Facebook account ID, then Facebook account ID, then what else? Store to database, STOR is store to database, DATABASE. Then send, send email that your account is created. Send send SMS to his mobile number. Okay. Audit, AUDIT, whatever he has done, audit. So there are a lot of functionality that you want to do when you want to create a Facebook account. Are you going to write all this functionality in a single method? This may be okay. Account ID generation and store to database. Whereas see this one, sending email, sending SMS, and audit. So sending email will happen in a number of scenarios. Say for example, if I change my edit my profile, then I will send an email. If a notification comes to me, I will send an email. If I do a post, I will get an email. I need to generate an email. So in that scenario, if you are going to write this logic in the same method, then you need to write those logic for all the functionality. So have some high level idea, even if it is confusing, leave it as of now. Just we are going to think how we can move this logic to different method and also do the functionality whatever we needed. Here we wrote all the four functionality. Same way, if you create a Facebook account, our guess is that they will do this all these six functionality: one, two, three, four, five, six. So are you going to write in a single method or in a different method? If you are going to write in a single method, that is not going to be the right one, because some logic will be used in n number of scenarios. Sending email, sending SMS, auditing will be used in a number of scenarios. So better to move this logic to a separate method so that whenever we need this logic, we can reuse those things. And also maintenance. Say if you have a method with 1,000 lines, it is not at all maintainable. When there is any changes, then you need to understand all the 1,000 code, and if you want to do then you do the changes and you do testing. So this is not at all right. So better to move our logic to different method, and you call those method whenever you need. Anyway, we'll think. So now what we do is, and I don't want to do here I so this is our takeaway. I don't want to do all the four operations when I run the program. Sometime I want to do only addition, sometime I want to do division, sometime I want to do multiplication. Then how can we do this? Okay, now we will create on another one class. Okay, you know in Eclipse how to create a class. So in this folder, this is a folder, this is any neo banking is a project, and in any folder, this is a folder, and any folder create. Okay, create new, go to new and create a class. Give some name. Its first letter should be capital. METHOD method SPLIT split something. Okay, method split is EXP. See here, I created one class. I created one class. So one class is created from here. Where your class starts, from here to here. And there is one method. If you remove this one, this class is without any method. Control F. So this is the proper class. So modifier, I will explain about modifier when I teach you OOPS concept. CLASS, the keyword. In Java, there are a lot of keyword, and I will show you in Java T point, I will show you what are the keywords available in Java. So what are the modifiers available in Java? Public, private, protected. So keywords are modifiers are available. So as of now, make it public. As of now, make it. I will explain about all these things. So if you want to create a class, give CLASS, type CLASS any name. Now you created a class with a method split example. So it is a starting and ending. So inside a method, what are the major things that we will be writing often? Declaring variable and creating a method. Declaring a variable, creating a method, declaring a variable. So a class can be without variable, a class can be without a method. So you will understand all those things. A class can have more than one method, which we are going to see now. Okay. So I created one method called main. So you know what is this method. So if you want to run this program, you should have a method called main with this argument. We call this as an argument. You will understand what is argument after one or two sessions where I will explain all the things. Okay. So this is a main method, main main public static void. I'll explain you what is public, what is static, and what is void. As of now, you make it. If you see the method signature, method name, return type, method name, return type, and it can be on the main method should have a parameter called string array. This is parameter. This is a data type, and this is a variable. This is a data type. What is the data type of this variable? It can be anything to be meaningful, A or G. Yes, but this should be same. So now what I do is just first display something. You are welcome to something. SYSTEM is system dot out dot println. I'll explain what is system dot out dot println. So as of now, think that whenever you want to print something, then you are going to make system dot out dot println. Here, see here. Here, uh, something. What is the thing? Method 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 split stlit split examl control X control shift F. This is a proper class now. Yeah, this is a proper class and it has a one proper method. So your method starts here, your method ends here, and if you don't have any instruction inside this method also, it is a right one. When you run, what will happen when you run? Our compiler, our JVM will look for a method called main with this argument and public static void with this one. If there is no, then it will not, JVM will not run my program. If you want to run a program, then you should have a method called public static void main and a string array and a variable. This should be there. If I run, nothing will print. So nothing will print here. You because you don't have any instruction here. Nothing. You didn't inform anything that you want to do. Nothing is there. Okay. Now control V, control S. Now if I run, what will happen? If I run, okay, right click mouse, run as Java application. Only when you have a method called public static void main string args, only when this method is there, then you can run a program that is run as you will get this one Java application. Otherwise, you won't get Java application. You will get only this one, this option. So this option, see here, there is a error in our project launch. What is the error package? Okay. So if I run, so then it will display this one. Then what I want to do, I want to do four operation. In our previous example, we done four operation. One is welcome message. Another one is add, multiply, and divide. Say for example, uh, I want to do either one operation. Say for example, you want to do either add or divide or multiply. So in that scenario, what you can do is, you can move the functionality to different methods. Uh, so first create a method, something you want to write the add logic, add something, add something, something. So it is not meaningful name always should be meaningful. So this is the proper method, but one is missing. What is the one missing? See here, this is a method name, and either it can have a parameter or no parameter, empty parameter, no parameter. Starting curly bracket in a proper method. Then why you are getting error here? Return type is missing. What is the return type? As of now, return type can be any variable or any class or any class name, any variable with a data type or a class name. Think of as of now VOID. I will explain after some time. Return type. When I make a return type, now this is a proper method. So if you want to write a method, at the minimum, you should have a name, method name, empty bracket, opening and closing bracket, and return type. One, two, this one, three, and this should happen here. This all should be there. Now it's a proper method. Now it's a proper method. So and now it is a proper method. And for example, a variable can be declared inside or outside a method. So here we will declare a variable outside the method. Int num1 equal to 30. So int num2 equal to 6. Okay. Okay. Here, here when sometime we want to do the add operation, add this two number and display the value. Add this two number and display the value. So how will you add this one? By using plus sign. By using plus sign. num1 plus num2. Okay. Now you made number one plus number two. num2. Right. Number one. So you are getting error. What is the error? Invalid assignment operator. See here. Because you are adding, after adding, what you are doing it? You are not doing anything. Where you, so how will you display then? System.out.println, you added number 30 plus the 36 is 66. Where you are storing? Store that number here equal to something. Yes. What is the integer? Data type int double. Integer can be double. So actually we are having whole number. So it is not a fractional number. It's a whole number. So you can make it as integer or long. So integer, see what is the maximum value of integer and what is the maximum value of long. Go to Google, type maximum value of int Java in Java, then you will get. So probably that's how you can learn. So now you added, see this is a equal to operator. Always when this instruction run, your JVM will first evaluate the right hand side of your equal to sign. This one, what is available in the right hand side, it will add 66 and it will store into this S1. So if you want to make this to print in the screen, system 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 dot out dot printl. So are you, what is the thing that you are going to type here? Variable name? Yes, because this is a container, it holds the value of this one. Okay. Now, okay, now to okay. So now when you run, which method will run? Now in a class, before you have only one class. Now in this class you have two methods. So this is two variable declaration, and there is one method, main method. Main method is there, and add number exp method is there. Two methods are there. This method will just print a method print example, and this will print the added value. So when I run, which method will run? Will both the method run, or only this method run, or this method run? No, the starting point is only main method. The starting point is main method. The starting point is main method. JVM will not run this method. JVM will only run this method. So when I run this one, run, see what is out method split example. I'm not getting this one. This is not get all getting executed. So when you run a program, it will call the main method. If you want to execute this lines, then you should call this method. Then you should call the method. From one method, you can call other method. How will you call? Just to mention the method name. That's it. Here, this is a static method. From static method, you can call only static method, which I will explain after some time. As of now, I will introduce static. STATIC static. And in a static method, you can access only static variable as of now. As of now, don't think too much into that. So this is entirely different. STATIC static. STATIC. This is not right, but anyway. Yes. Okay. Okay. Control. Okay. So when I run this program, see, when I run this program, I get display. You know what is the display? I got both the display. This is a class. This class contains two variable and two method. When I run the program, always JVM will look for a method called main, and it will run all the instructions. What does this instruction do? This instruction just print method split example. This instruction will call this method, and it will go and run this method, run this line, then method ends, then the control will go to the next line, and it will end. Say for example here, ended something, end here, to be meaningful we'll make it something like start st something. So now what will happen, right? We are trying to learn method call. We are trying to learn method call. Forget about I introduced static. Forget about the static, and I will explain you after some time. As of now, understand the method call. From this method I can call this method. From this method I can call any method. A class can have 10 methods. Why a class should have a 10 method? You can write all the logic in a single method, or you can split the logic and write it in different method. Whenever you need, call it. So when you call this method, first this line will get executed. Then when this line executed, the call will come here, and then it will run this method. It will run this method, and this method ends. Then it will go to the next line and run this method and run here and go here. When your main method ends, your program when your main method ends, your program completes running. So when you run a program, so if there are 10 lines in the main method, all the 10 lines will be executed and your program completes. So from there, if you call some other method, it will go and run all this method, and it will come to the next line, and again it will go here. Once your JVM reaches this line, your program ends completes. So okay, you can understand. I think so. So it runs this line. When it see, it will go and run this line and run this line and run this line. Completes. Then your control will come to the next line, and it will show. Now we will see what is the output that we are getting. So this is the program, right? This is the program. So your class starts here, and your class has two variable declaration, and here your one method, so another method. Okay. So now let me run this one. See what is output. See method. First it got displayed, right? Then it calls this one. So the call goes to here and run this line. When this line executes, it is printing 66. Your method completes. Then it will go to this line. Then it is printing method print example after this line. Then it comes here, and once it is done, the things gets completed. If I remove this one, control X, there are two methods. Control will come to this method and it will run this line. It will run this line and your program ends. That's all. So this is this will not get executed. This will not get executed because you are not calling. Only when you need you will call. Otherwise, no need to call. So, for example, if you want to send an email after this functionality, if you want to send an email, then write the email functionality in a method and call that method. After this one, it will go and call that method. It will send an email. Then after that, it will come here and it goes there. So that's the main. So now you are moving that email functionality to a separate method. Whenever you want to send an email, just you call that method. All the line inside that will get executed. That line will send an email or SMS, whatever you want to do. So that's the right way, no, rather than compressing all in a single method. You can split the method based on the functionality. So how what is the functionality then? When you transfer money from one account to another account, what is the functionality? First of all, you need to check the balance and you need to check a minimum balance. Then you should check whether your account is active or not. Then you transfer money, meaning you debit from your account, credit to your friend account, send SMS, send email, write in a different ledger. There are a lot of activity will be done during your transfer of money. You are going to write all those instructions. Either you write in all the things in a single method, or you write in a different method, so that it will be much more comfortable for you to maintain the program. That's the main use. So one of the main uses, you can write the entire application functionality, entire iBanking, entire Facebook functionality, all the functionality you can write in a single method. But if that method contains say 10 million, 10 million in Indian terms, it is 1 crore line. So if there is any changes, how will you do the changes? It will be very difficult. So now you will have some basic idea about method. So it's up to you whatever you want to write. Say for example, in this scenario, I can write the both the logic here, both the addition and the multiplication in the same method. So that you as a programmer, you feel that is right. You want to, whenever anyone calls this method, I want to do two operation, one is addition, one is multiplication, then you do this one multiplication and something m, print m, control S. Let's run this one. Whenever anyone calls this one, how will you call this method? If you want to run this 4 lines, how will you do this one? Call this method. Call this method. Okay, now first this line will get executed, then it will come here, then it will print this one. It will sorry, it will do this one, print this one. It will do this one, and we are storing here, and it is doing this one. Let me do this one. Run. See here, it multiplied. So in this method, you added two functionality. So method name, it should be meaningful. Anything, any you are writing anything is okay, control it. But is it right when you call, when you add and multiply? So if you want, then you go according, if you this according to your logic, according to your logic. Whenever I want to uh, uh, do the two functionality, whenever I call this method, then you write all the logic here. Even divide also. This is not the right way. Either you want to add, you want to multiply, and you want to divide. So this will be the functionality. When you save your do the transaction and you are having six functionality, either you write all the six functionality in a single method or use three method and accordingly you write all the functionality, or you write in a six method, four method. It's up to you. So what is the main use of a method? So you can split your functionality into different method and call from any method. So for example, if I am going to So after this one, I want to send an email. Say for example, okay, now no need to go and confuse all the things. Okay, now you know how to call a method. If you want to call a method, method name and with a proper parameter. So this is an empty parameter. So we are sending no an empty parameter. If this contains some parameter, and you will we will I will explain about all this. As now it's empty parameter, so it's working. Okay, so we have two methods in this class. We will introduce another two methods. So what is another method? MUL mul something. This is a proper method. Or then why we are getting error? Return type. Return type can be any data type like integer, double, float, long, string, char, char, char. There are many boolean. There are many data types available, which I will show you, and you can go and learn. See what are the data types available. You can say any data type, int or void na, void void na. You are not returning anything. So anyway, that I will explain. As of now, leave it. This is a data type. It can be void, it can be int, it can be bool double, or it can be boolean, boolean. See what are the data types available in Java. Data type. See what are the data types. If you go to Google, type Java, DATATYPE, data type, DATATYPE. If you type in Google something like this, then you will get. So void void. So if it is going to multiply, what is the thing that we are going to do? Control C, control V, star, star. Okay, control S, print S, anything. S or E, something, val, something, E, value, something, anything is the case. So this one. So what will happen? So when this method gets run, when someone calls, you can call this method from any other method. From this method you can call, from this method you can call, from any method you can call, many method you can call. So this is one instruction, right? This instruction should be only inside method. It should not be outside the method. Here, now this is outside the method. So see, it is showing you error method name. So this is not right way. So you cannot write only variable declaration should be outside the method. Variable declaration should be outside the method. Now when I run this program, what will happen? Will this called something to be meaningful? We'll say that one mul method mul started something st a or something. Okay. So when I run this program, what will happen? First JVM. When I run this program, JVM will see whether there is a method called public static void main. So if there is no method, something like this, control, there is no method. When I right click, run as here, there is no Java application. Control is that. Okay. Now when I right click somewhere, when I right click, see Java application is there. Okay, when I click this one, this will come. Your starting is here and your ending is here. You are calling this one and you are calling this one and you are calling this one. You are not even calling this one. Okay, just you wrote, but you are not calling it. So run Java application. So see the output. See the output. Method split example. So see, drag this one and see. Drag this one and see. Somewhere it will hide. Okay. So method this got executed. Then it is coming here. It is printing this one. And after that, it is coming here, it is printing this one method split end. After that, ends. This is not even called. It's not even called. So if you want to call this method, what you can do, either you can call from here or from here. Let's call from here or mul mul. So what will happen now? Why static? Okay. So if I call, what will happen? First it will come here, then it call the add method, it will execute all the functionality, then it will go to next line, it will print this one, then it will go here and call this one, and it prints this value. So we'll see this now. See here, first method split. Which one? This one got executed. Then add number, logic got executed. Then method split, this one got executed. Then you calling mul, then it goes there and this got executed. Then it multiplies, stores here, then it displays 108. For example, if you are going to make this one, will it work? If I'm going to make here, will it work? Yeah, it will work. First, what, see what is your output? Yeah, you can place it anywhere inside a method. See, then first what? First multiply. First, no, it got this one got executed. Then it add to value, store it here. Sorry, multiply this value, store it here. Print this one. See here, print this one. Then it goes to this line and add and call this one. And after that, this one. So you can place anywhere. Control X. If you place here, you can place anywhere. So your method flow will be, so your execution flow will be whatever the instructions that you are going to write, your computer is going to do the same thing. Now you understand what is the method called. You write in a separate and you want to write all the instructions in that method, then it will come to this method. Here, when it reaches, it will end. After completing of this method, after completion of this method, where the control go, this method starts here, ends here. Once it is successfully completed, from where it called, it will go to the next line. From here, it will go to next line. Okay, so that's how things work. So you can call from, can you call from here, control X? Can you call from here? Yeah, this also method from here. Then what will happen? First it will display this one, then it will call this method, it comes here, then it goes here, and then it calls this one, and it will print all the value, then it is ending, then it will go to this line and go on. Once it reaches here, your method execution completes. So this also will work from anywhere you can call. So the flow will go according. So from this method, when it is reaches this line, this method is not ending. Only after it returns, it will come here, then it will go here. So we will run this one and see what is the output. See what is the output. First, what happened? Method split example. Then it is adding the number, adding the number, printing the number, calling the method, this method, and it does all these three functionality. Then it will come here end, and it will then where from where this is called, then it will go to here, and it goes here, then it comes here, then that's how things work. You can place it here, or you can place it control X, you can place it here. What will happen if I make here? First this line gets executed. Then you are calling this one. This got executed, S is stored here. It won't print this one. It will go to this line, then it will call this one. Okay, it will call this one, execute all the things, then it will display this value. Then we will see. So you can place it anywhere, you can call it from anywhere. Okay. See, see your added values after the multiplication. Why? Because this instruction will get executed only after this method calls completes. Right? You are calling this method, no, it will go, it will complete this method, then it will come next time, then you are printing it. So you should understand. You can place it anywhere. So, and I remove this one, delete. If I am going to place this one here, control X, your add method will not even get executed. Right? You are coming here, you are calling multiply method, it will go to multiply method, all the things get entered. Once this method gets completed, This method gets completed when it runs all the three instructions. When it reaches this end of the curly bracket, then it will go here and print this one. Your addition method will not be utilized now. See here, method split example static method multiply split. There is no add. This is not at all here because you are not calling it. You no need to call. Now you want to do only multiplication. So you are calling multiplication. So you got some idea about this is a logic I wrote. This is the thing I wrote, and now you should have an idea how to call a method from other method. You are calling method from other method. From here, if you are going to make, you can call this one. If you are going to make this one Control C, and here or anywhere, you can place it anywhere. And let me place here anywhere. Control S, Control S. If I run, what will happen? You are calling this one, and this will start to get executed. This will get executed, and this will get executed. This will call this method, and this get executed, and this get executed, and this method ends. Then it will call to the next line, call to the next line. Then method gets end, and who is the caller of this? Who is the caller here? And it will go to next line. Once it reaches, your execution completes. So run Java application. Here add number will be the last. Okay, now you got some idea about method call. You should be able to do this one. As of now, forget about static. When we create object, I will remove the static. At the time, I'll extract. So now you have some basic idea about method calling and writing a method. So you can have a number of method, a number of method in a class, and if you have 10 method, and if you are calling from a main method only two method, only the two method get executed. All other eight method is not executed for this functionality. So it's up to you how you write. Anyway, this is all about method call. Okay, thanks for your time. And next training session, we will see how to get this to value dynamically from the user. Now we hard coded right. Actually, it should come from the screen right. We will ask the user to enter this to value, and we do this example in the next session. So after that, we'll work on parameter, object. We'll move on. Thanks for your time.